You're done with this, you can hand them all in. If you don't have them all here, that's fine. You can just get them and hand them in next week sometime. So it's just one construction today, so we'll be done pretty early. Yeah. Well, this is the sixth one now? Okay. So, on construction 6, you're going to divide a segment into equal pieces. Or I should say equal lengths. Okay, and just for the sake of this one, you can do any amount. You can do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We will just do 5 equal pieces.
Do we need a lot of space for this one or not?
Not really, no. You're gonna have a line down here and then a line going up, and everything is done in between.
I don't want to go to this an hour or two of my leg. They have a game tomorrow. They have a game tomorrow. Huh? What does that mean? Don't you trigger me.
Okay, so you're gonna start off with a line, and you don't want it real short. I'd run it half your page, and then you can label the ends A and B. So what we're going to do on this one is divide it into 5 equal segments. So the first thing we do is draw any ray from A. Now for this, you don't, if you put it real close like this, it's going to be harder to do. So the more room you go up like this and the longer you have it, the easier this will be to do. It doesn't have to be quite that high up, but draw any ray from A. So then, with vertex A, remember vertex means the pointy part of your compass. Let's move this a little bit. With vertex A, make 5 equal segments along it.
That's A right there, right behind you, right?
Yep, here's A right here. So what that means is you can open your compass up however wide you want it. But you don't want it too wide because you'll run out of space. And you don't want it too close together because then it's hard to do the rest of the construction. So what you're going to do is put the pointy part on A, open it up however you want it, and make a mark. And then you slide up and make the same mark. I made mine too big, I'm going to run out I gotta shorten it up a little bit. So we're gonna do 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Can we just use this thing?
Yeah, yep. All we need is this, oh, for a compass, you mean?
Yeah.
You can. Do you know how to use it? They're a little difficult to use.
Just do bottom two. Oh, no, I guess I wouldn't. Really, it would be.
Dude, I wanna make my hair cover one of those people who are like this, you know, where they have like a.
What we wanna do is label
And they have a blade and it goes.
the last
Oh, yeah.
segment
So satisfying.
X. So that's this one, we're on your 5th one, label that point X.
This one's kind of like off right here. It looks like they cut the skin. It's weird.
Sorry.
So X is on the 5th one. So the next step, number 4, is just connect X to B.
Maybe a burnt nothing from that sour. Or no, it's probably pizza.
Are we short of the?
Okay, just some of those.
There's a couple
Just
here
some
if
of those.
anyone needs.
Jug.
There are regular compasses here if anyone wants to use.
Jug. Hey, kid. Trigger me, kid.
Okay, everyone caught up to this?
Oh my god, kill yourselves.
Okay, so number 5 is we're gonna copy angle X at all the other segments. Now, we've already done copying angles as one of our other constructions, so we don't need to write the rules for that. But I'll wait for everyone to write that down so you can follow along. Refresh your memory how to do that. So, what that means is we're gonna copy this angle here, 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 and there. Okay? Now this is where it gets a little confusing. You may want to, so you can remember the points here, you may want to put dots on these. In fact, you are gonna want to, then it'll be less confusing. So that reminds you that's where the angle is gonna go. So the way you copy an angle is you open up your compass to however wide you want it. I'm gonna switch this. And you put it on the vertex and you make an arc through both sides. You put it, this is the angle we're copying, so what you gotta do is you gotta make an arc through that angle.
Mine needs to be tight.
Tighten, okay. So, that's gonna be copied at every angle. So what you're gonna wanna do is make that same arc at where each new angle is gonna be. So, you keep it the same, you go out to where the next angle is gonna be, you make that arc. You go down to the next spot, so there's 5 of them.
He's open it in between those two dots, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just open it in between the two dots.
Yeah, I mean, you could go further, it's just you'd have to extend your line down here if you did go further. So this is why we filled in the dots, we know that's where the vertex is gonna be. So we've got 5 arcs that are the same. So what that means is this point, this point, this point, this point, this point are all corresponding. So now we gotta find out where this point's gonna be. So you open up your compass to see how far apart these two are on your angle that we're copying. And then you go down and you find that same point on all the other ones. So you just keep it the same as here, you go there, 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 and there. I didn't quite make my arc long enough, so I gotta go back. Okay, everyone follow that?
No.
Okay, so the first thing we did is the angle we're copying, we made an arc, and then we made that same arc on all the other spots. Then you gotta see how wide the angle is, so you open up your compass right there. And you move down to here to find that. So now this point and this point correspond. And then you do the same thing on this one. And the same thing here and there. Okay? So then what you do after you got those marks is you connect where the vertex is gonna be to that X. And that's gonna copy the angle. So you connect this to my point there. And there we've got a congruent angle there. Then you connect this one to that one. And we got this one, and this one.
Oh, wow.
Good job, Mason. So what happened is, since all these angles are congruent, what do you know about all these lines we drew? They're parallel because these are corresponding angles. So we just drew a whole bunch of parallel lines. And since we made these congruent, these are going to be congruent because they're going to be proportional. That's why this is in this section, it has to do with proportions. This over this is proportional to that over that and that over that. So what we did is we cut this segment into 5 equal pieces. This piece, this piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece are all the same length. And that's it.